Picture line number 5 is the natural corte. Now to get into this picture line as an entry, we're going to use the hover corte directly into our natural corte, and for an exit we're going to use an oversway. We'd now like to demonstrate this for you to music. And now I'd like to demonstrate the man's foot positions. So we have just completed our hover corte, and so I have back right, back left, turn to the right, stepping side right, point the left foot, and now simply transfer weight side to the left and dance our oversway. And now your footwork will be starting on the right foot, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, point the toe of the left foot, transfer weight to the left foot now, toe heel, point in the right foot for our oversway. And now for your technique. So gentlemen, from this prior figure of the hover corte, which we would have had a shape to our right, I'd like you to maintain your angle and shape as you go back right, left. Now as I transfer weight to the side, I'm going to maintain my angle as I turn my body to the right. Now from here I'm going to absorb up, without rising up on the toe, I'm going to rise up through my right leg, changing the angle of the hip and through my abdominal muscles, so I have a strong diagonal stretch. So if you'll notice, I've turned from one diagonal to another, producing a strong stretch through my right side, stretching diagonally. Now from here, I leave my head weight to the left as I transfer weight, and now I change down into my oversway. Now I'd like to have Heather join us for the ladies' part.
And now the ladies' foot positions for this figure. As Victor has mentioned, we are taking this from the hover corte. We are going to step from here, left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot forward, swiveling, right foot brushes to left foot, right foot forward, swiveling to a side step into our oversway position. And now the footwork. We have toe heel, heel toe, toe brush, toe heel, inside edge of left foot for the toe. And now the technique. Now ladies, what I'm very, very focused on here is taking my head again to the outside of turn, just like we just mentioned on the hover corte. So what I don't want you to do is, on the recovery from the hover corte, is bring your head in. One of the faults that Victor and I come across quite regularly is when people lower out of a picture line, the ladies tend to bring their head immediately back into the shape when they use their legs for the lowering action. So what I want to make sure that you don't do, ladies, is drop the head position but land, and land so the head is still following the arc and the curve of the left arm. And then as you go forward, keep that head traveling in that direction, so as the man turns us into this position to come out, we are absolutely towards him with our upper body. So one of the things, ladies, when you swivel, don't keep turning your shoulders all the way to the right. When we allow our feet to turn under our shoulders, hopefully it's giving our body a sense of where our partner is and where our centers are in relationship to each other. So when we get to this position, I'm still very focused on where Victor is. Now from here, as I go forward again and swivel, my exit will be my oversway. And again, ladies, I can't emphasize enough how important on all picture lines is that our frame is always balanced by connecting our shoulders to our hips. Make sure that you don't try and attach yourself to your partner. The shoulder line is always connected down to the base. The elbows will always be in front of the body. The joints nice and relaxed, and your arms always belong to your partner. And now Victor will join me and we'll demonstrate this again and go over some finer details.
Now continuing on with a little more technique. Now gentlemen, in this particular figure, the natural corte, depending upon the choreography that you use as your exit, we can have two different body positions. Now our normal body position, when we do the natural corte, the lady will be on the outside of my right hip in our normal body position of right front to right front. Because we have chosen in this video to show you an oversway exit. What I want you to be aware of is that it is possible through different choreography to switch the lady inside your right hip to produce another exit as far as your choreography is concerned. So what will determine that, of course, is your choreography, but what I'd like to go over is the size of the step that you will take on your right foot. If I'm going to keep the lady in the normal position, which we're using for our oversway, I will take a very small step to the side on my right foot to be able to keep Heather in front of me and on the right side of my right hip. Very, very important. If I can maybe just turn to a different angle so you can see this. So from here, if we exit our hover corte, we come out, I take a very small side step, so I'm stepping between her feet, right? She will stay on that side of my right hip. Now, if we have a different exit, what could happen is that I could take a larger step on my right foot, which it will allow her to be now inside my right hip, which would give us a different exit. So I'd like to be very clear on that you do have a few options, okay? Now, back to our basic technique. What I'd like you to focus on is in recovering from the hover corte, I want you to leave your center with the lady as long as possible for those first two steps. If you begin to rotate too quickly, you're going to rotate the lady well past you into, of course, some alignment that you did not want to finish in, okay? So we'll do this in a loose hold. So as I land on my right foot to left foot, I'm maintaining my center towards the lady. I'm going to take a small side step as I rotate to my right. Now it's very important, the angle of the thighs and the hips, again, we're using base, body, and head. So when I land here, I'm changing through my thighs and hips as a lever, and then I'm going to get a strong sense of stretching through my abdominal muscles, coming out through my head, allowing the hands to breathe and finish off the line. So as we come through, I get her on the foot, we stretch, and now we breathe, and we finished. And now we simply change weight, and now we have our oversway.
Just a little more technique I'd like to give for the ladies is at the top of the line, both on the hover corte and the natural corte, what I want you to do is think of your extension coming more through the upper body. And what makes the line look so extreme is I'm thinking very, very strongly of working through the abdominal muscles and then feeling, like I've mentioned earlier, that there is a bar that I feel that is underneath my lat muscles, and I'm working up and over that bar like we'd do if we were doing the actual high jump. What I don't want you to do is let the back collapse into the man's right arm to produce your shape, because your lower abdominal muscles will automatically block his position. So one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Victor to just keep his arms loosely around my waist, and going from this position into the actual natural corte, I'm working down through the shoulders, up through the feet, and then up and out through the head. What I'm not doing is shaping from the lower part of my back. I'm going up and over that high jump while I'm making the shape. And the same thing for the oversway as well. So ladies, I really want you to internally practice your stomach muscles being well on top of the supporting leg, feeling internal and feeling like your shape is coming up and out through the upper back, not through the lower part of the spine.
Now, as we've illustrated, we can use our waltz timing, or we'd like to now demonstrate a tango timing and styling for this natural corte. So in tango, of course, it's going to be a sharper and more staccato. So from here, if we're walking outside partner, quick, quick, slow, oversway, slow. So as you can see, the action can change dramatically depending upon the style and character of each dance. Now, if we have, say, a foxtrot and we're dealing with slows and quicks, we can have slow, 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 slow. So you can have many different timings for the different dances. And that is the natural corte.